All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hit the Books, Season 5, Episode 6. We are back, just me and Mackie this week for Week 6 in the NFL. My Steelers coming off a bye week. Obviously, a lot of going on in the NFL as we start to see which of these teams are legit, which are the pretenders, which are the true contenders. But Mackie, how are we doing heading into Week 6? How are we feeling? A lot going on in the sports world as well. MLB playoffs, lots going on. NHL's back. How are we feeling?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Haven't been on in a few weeks, been a little busy, but nice to be back. And yeah, we got a nice week 6 ahead of us. Huff and Ace had a huge week last week. I'm still waiting for mine, but yeah, feeling good.
Still waiting for it. It's coming. It's coming.
Got to play those
But
first touchdowns.
yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm just willing to take that risk because I've seen it go. I know exactly how I gamble, and it's I could lose 3 straight picks, and then I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna see what happens here on this first touchdown. And then that's what I hit. That's just the luck I have, but I mean, I'll take it. But yeah, we'll get right into our NFL slate for this week. Obviously, last week, week 5, my Steelers on a bye week, like I said, your Cowboys with a convincing win there up in New York in your hometown against those Jets. A convincing win. It kind of got a little. It felt like it was 30-3 at one point. Jets came back a little bit, but it was really never in question. 37-22. Pickens looks phenomenal for you guys. 5 touchdowns in as many games. Um, he's looking great in the absence of CeeDee Lamb. The Colts continue to stay on fire against a bad Raiders team, 40-6. Bucks go up to Seattle and steal a win, 38-35 in an absolute shootout. Tennessee Titans get their first win against the Cardinals there. I was on the Titans plus the 8.5 there. Lions cover again, just cover machine, and then Aces Patriots. Sunday Night Football get the win outright in Buffalo for their whiteout. But we'll transition into Week 6. We have some Thursday night football in the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Giants to take on heading to New York to take on the Giants. Giants are getting 7.5 points here at home. Over under at 40.5. Eagles money line is minus 400. Giants plus 310. You're the New York native. Are you going to be riding with your Giants, as Jesse would be saying here? Are you going with Philly to cover this big number?
Yeah, I like the Giants on the number. I like a close game. Jackson Dart played pretty well last week. He had a few miscues. That non-contact fumble that he had kind of changed the game right there. But keep it close, divisional matchup. You know how the Eagles have been playing. Tough loss last week from the Eagles. Had a 14-3 lead, 17-3 lead, one or the other.
I think it was 17-3, and then they didn't score again.
Yeah. So obviously they're dealing with some adversity right now, but obviously you know what that team can do. A slow-paced game. I'm going to go with the under here, but I do like the Giants to cover the number. I think that they're a different team with Jackson Dart, and that second half of that last game doesn't really show who they are.
I just don't think you can lay 7.5 with the Eagles right now, the way they've looked. I mean, Ace was saying innocent until proven guilty. And I mean, they
They're
were
proven
winning
guilty.
games. They were winning ugly games. And now that was a bad loss last week. And Denver's a good team. I think a lot of people kind of jumped off their bandwagon after they started the season kind of rocky. And now they're back to 3-2 with a winning record going to facing the Jets this week over in London. But, I don't know. I think this Eagles team is kind of leaking oil and showing some signs of weakness. I just think it's too big of a number. I like the Giants as well. Plus at home, divisional game, dog. Give me 7.5. Give me more than a touchdown here. I like the under 40.5 as well. I saw Saquon and McCaffrey have combined for 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. Not good for any of their fantasy owners out there, but he just hasn't been the answer. I did take him to score one last week. He ends up getting in there. But yeah, in a divisional matchup, give me the dog of 7.5 points here, especially at home, prime time. I love this pick. You kind of talked me into that under, but I did lean on these Giants plus the 7.5. But we'll move into our Sunday slate. Sunday the 12th in London. I believe this game is at Wembley. I could be wrong on that. Not that it matters, but I know it is in London. With the Denver Broncos taking on the 0-5, the only 0-5 team in the league, the New York Jets. The Jets come into this one also a 7.5 point dog, over under at 43.5. Jets money line is plus 300. Broncos minus 375. This game will be played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, not Wembley. How do you feel about this one? What are your opinions on this?
I just think this Jets team is so hard to gauge. I mean, you saw them last week come in as 1.5-point favorites. Obviously, get blown out. It was 23-3 at half. The game was basically over. Denver coming off a huge win. Bo Nix looked great last week. J.K. Dobbins looked good. It just seems like a sketchy line. It's in London. You expect them to have a good game over there. You know how the NFL works. I kind of like a lower scoring game. I mean, I lean on the Broncos. You can't take this Jets team in any situation right now, but I think it's a really sus line.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's a lot of points. Broncos, they've shown their weaknesses through the early parts of the season, but they look like they're back on the right track. But an 0-5 team getting 7.5 points, that's a tough spot. I think it'll be a little bit. It's going to be tough, but I was going to say I think it could be a little lower scoring because it's over in London. But
They usually are.
This Jets defense can't stop anything right now, so I'm going to stay away from a total here. But I like the Broncos as well. 7.5 is a little much. I'd like it at 7, but you're sitting right there -105. So hopefully you can get that 7 around -120. But
You gotta
I hate
expect
buying
Fields.
points again. That
You gotta expect that 1 point Fields just has one of those games. I mean,
he's good. He will. He's good for one of those, but he hasn't even been the issue the past few weeks.
no, I mean you can't even count the issues on one hand. It's just one thing after the next. But I mean, they're not really an 0-5 team if you ask me.
I mean, dude, they're a 60-yard kick away from beating my Steelers.
That was week 1, though. A lot has gone wrong since week 1.
So what are the other ones? I have the worst memory of shit like this.
Because I was looking back on that Steelers game, and I was like, they were toe to toe with the Steelers. But I feel like 4 losses later, and you're a completely different team.
I mean,
tough loss to the Dolphins last week. I think that could have went either way. It's just Braylon Allen fumbling on the goal line. It's a pass interference on Garrett Wilson for the push off that wasn't a push off.
I think they've lost the 4 potential playoff teams: Steelers, Bills, Bucks, Cowboys.
And the Bucks, I mean, it was a walk-off field goal by the Bucks.
Yeah. And the Steelers, same thing.
Are you counting the Cowboys as a playoff team?
Wild card team. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
think if they look this good without CeeDee Lamb, I think once CeeDee Lamb comes back, they're just going to go on one of those Cowboys stretches where they might not lose like a home game.
I'm just worried about the defense, but yeah.
the defense can't stop shit, which is scary. But in your division, that sometimes plays. But the Cowboys have an offense that if they're gonna tie 40-40 on Sunday Night Football with the Packers, like they can do that with any team. The only team I think that could outscore you guys is Detroit in the NFC. Mm-hmm. Like I think Philly, that plays to your guys' style. It's just scoring because Philly wants to run the ball. You guys are like, fuck it, we'll throw it 60 yards deep to Pickens and hope he catches it.
I'll go toe-to-toe with anyone putting the ball in the end zone.
Your next 3 games at the Panthers, you're a 3.5-point favorite this week. We'll get into that game here shortly. Home against the Commanders, at Denver, home against the Cardinals, at the Raiders.
I mean, you got to think there's 4 wins there, right?
I think there's 4 wins there, yeah. The home against the Commanders is huge. You can lose at them.
You gotta win your home game though in division.
Yeah. You also only have 2 home games in that stretch. So if you go 4-1 in that means you win 2 road games, or you win at least 2 road games.
At Denver's tough, but I mean you win 4 out of 5 there, and you're good.
Yeah. I mean, even if you go, the tie is going to fuck you guys at the end of the season, but
it could, but it could also help.
It also helps. I mean, I've always said that too, because the Steelers used to love the tie. And people are like, "Oh, that's one less win on the year." I'm like, it's also one less loss. Whenever you're 8-9 or 8-8, you're 8-7-1 instead of 8-8, and everyone else is 8-8.
Yeah.
But we'll get into our first 1:00 game. Speaking of my Steelers, they are laying 5.5 points at home against the division rival Cleveland Browns, who are getting those 5.5 points over under at 38.5. I believe our lowest total of the week. Steelers money line -275, Browns +225. I'm kind of scared of the spread. Dylan Gabriel kind of looked not promising, but the Steelers always struggle with the Browns. I'm not going to overlook them in this spot, especially in a divisional game. Our first divisional game coming off the bye, though. I think the Steelers are rested. The defense started to look good over there in Ireland in a big win against the Vikings. Actually, really against the Patriots, they stepped up with the 5 turnovers, but Patriots are kind of just giving us the ball there. But a big game against the Vikings there, a couple key stops. I think the Steelers are going to come out and get a win here. 5.5. I think it'll be too low scoring of a game to lay 5.5 points. Will I probably end up taking it? Yes. Give me the Steelers 20-13.
Teaser spot. You can get the Steelers
Great
at
teaser spot. You get them to get them in the money line.
at the money line plus a half point, whatever it is, 5.5, 6. You get that over, you get that under up to 44.5. I think that's the play here. I think no way the Steelers lose this game. Home game, divisional matchup. They're the better team. I don't love Dylan Gabriel. Don't get me wrong, he looked good. I think they're just waiting to get Shedeur in there. Honestly, obviously you got to give Gabriel his chances. But
I think they're doing this like waiting for either Dylan Gabriel to fuck up or Shedeur to talk himself out of them having to play him. Like him to just totally like they think he's gonna be such an idiot that they're like, all right, we might get to a point where he just does something where we can be like, all right, never mind.
I don't know. I kind of want to see how it works out.
I want to see how it works out too, but him doing the mime answers when Dylan Gabriel was named QB1, like that kind of shit, like, dude, you're a 5th round pick. You gotta chill and stuff like that.
Yeah, that should go right there.
Yeah, exactly. And then did you see what his dad said? The one Colorado reporter goes, "Did you see the Cleveland Browns traded Joe Flacco today?" And Deion Sanders goes, "I do not give a damn about the Browns." He goes, "I love me some Shedeur Sanders, but I don't care about anything else about that dumpster fire over there." Like, damn, dude. Okay.
Yeah. Give me the Steelers to win the game. I don't love this spread, but
5.5. It's a weird spread for.
Game.
Yeah, we've seen this game before. The Browns could even have a lead here, and the Steelers have to take it back from them. Wouldn't be shocked, but I think Steelers get the win. Give me them 20-17 there. It also goes under that 38.5. But our next game is the 4-1 Indianapolis Colts, the number 1 seed in the AFC, hosting the Arizona Cardinals, coming off a loss to the 0-4 Titans. Colts are laying 7 points at home here. Over under 47. Colts money line -350. Cardinals +280. Do you like the Colts here? I think this is obviously another win. They're looking to start the season 5-1. Do you like laying 7 points? I think it's a high scoring game. I lean on the over here as well. Cardinals defense has been, putting up or letting up a lot of these second half comebacks, and the Colts have just been firing on all cylinders. I look at Jonathan Taylor to run all over this Cardinals defense. Michael Pittman to have a good game. Daniel Jones possibly get back in the end zone, rush one in. I like laying this. I'm going to lay the 7 with the Colts. I also think they go over. I think this could be an ugly lopsided win for Indianapolis. They just look like keep the good times rolling over there in Indy.
I mean, you want to talk about a dumpster fire. You talk about Arizona. You were on those Titans last week, so you love to see it, but I've never seen a worse collapse against the worst team in the league, nonetheless, in the Titans.
The Amari DiMercado play.
From the DiMercado to Kyler Murray, whatever the hell that was when he scrambled and just chucked the ball off. I've never seen anything worse in my entire life. To literally the craziest play probably in NFL history of an interception, fumble, touchdown, recovery in the end zone.
That was crazy.
I've never seen before. But talk about a dumpster fire.
Fell on it. I was like, please be a touchdown. Please be a touchdown. The one ref comes
you don't even know what the ruling is at that point. Like, you've never seen it before.
4 guys touched the ball.
Yeah.
I was like, the odds that all of them had possession, that it wasn't a dead ball, like, you know what I mean? At some point, they just blow it dead, and it ends up in the end zone, and some guy just freely falls on it. I'm like, and they literally just go, touchdown, Tyler Lockett. I was like, there's no way they just scored off of that.
Yeah, but I mean, after that game, I think the Cardinals are dead in the water. Kyler Murray didn't even practice this week, so he probably won't even play. That comes into play. You'll probably see a 9.5, 10-point spread. I think regardless, the Colts win by 30. Most of their wins, except for that Denver game, they've won. They've cleared. They won by 20 points.
Teams out.
Yeah. It's hard to get this offense off the field. That's the main thing. So, like you said, Jonathan Taylor showed a huge game. Get a lot of Michael Pittman this week. Tyler Warren obviously has been incredible.
Tyler Warren's been awesome. I didn't say him.
There's just too much. There's too much on that offense for the Cardinals.
I got so lucky in our fantasy league. I drafted Bowers, and then I just took a flyer on Warren late. I was going to do Warren or Loveland. Our league I did Warren. My other league I did Loveland, and obviously I'm paying for it in that league. But Warren's eating in ours.
I don't like taking rookies, but Warren was high on it. Like, he was a pretty high prospect in terms of fantasy this year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's panning out perfectly.
yeah. I mean, but plus Bowers has been hurt. I've been having to play Warren. He had a touchdown last week again. He keeps scoring, so he's someone to start keeping an eye out for the anytime touchdown. He might be. I might have to jump on him. I love a good tight end first touchdown. I might have to keep an eye on that, especially here at home against a bad defense in the Cardinals. But we'll move into our next one. Not a great game here with the Chargers heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are getting 4.5 points here at home, over under 43.5. Dolphins money line is plus 180. Chargers minus 220. Not much to say here about the Dolphins getting 4.5 at home, but the Chargers last 2 weeks a skid here. They lose to the Giants outright in Jackson Dart's debut. They come home and lose to Jaden Daniels and his return from his injury. I was on those Chargers minus 3 last week. Do they get things right down in South Beach minus 4.5?
See, here's the thing about what I've been saying about Justin Herbert his entire career. I mean, you start 3-0, you're on top of the world. You have the AFC West by the balls.
He's the September Super Bowl champion every
I mean, he's not even playing bad, but you're just not getting the job done. 27-10 loss to the Commanders last week. I think they were
up
home
10-0.
And they were
McCarthy scored the first touchdown.
What I want to say it was Quentin Johnson fumbled, and since then I think it was 27-0. I mean, it's just you can't make this up anymore. Herbert just continues to do what he does, which he's not even playing bad football. It's just getting the job done, which I've said from the start. So nothing's changed there. I think the Dolphins keep up. I really do. I think it can either be a 30-10 game or it's going to be a barn burner where it can end on. I couldn't even tell you who the Dolphins kicker is at this point, but
yeah. I was also on the Dolphins last week. I had faith in them in Carolina, and I thought they maybe found something in that win against the Jets, and I was totally wrong. They came out hot and they just gave up a terrible second half to a bad Panthers team.
Yeah, but I don't think the Dolphins I think it just got away from them. I think that they were up 17-0. They pretty much thought the game was over.
They just stopped playing.
I thought the game was over. And when you see a team coming back like that, you're just panicking, and you 3-and-out after 3-and-out, it just kind of gets away from you. But I don't think that team's that bad. I really don't.
I don't think the roster's that bad. I mean, we've said that. They're like, how is this team this bad that we've seen them do this last year, and now they're 1-4, getting 4.5 points at home. Like last year, this is a pick'em, or maybe even Dolphins are favorited last year.
It matters what Tua you get as well. I mean, you could see two different sides of him.
Yeah. I lean on the Chargers with the 4.5. I think it'll be more like a 20, 27, 21 kind of score. But, I don't think I'll be betting this one. I'm not too confident in that. Next one here, Aces Patriots going down to NOLA to take on the Saints, coming off a win. The Saints are getting 3.5 points at home here, over under 46. Saints money line plus 155. Patriots minus 190. Patriots starting to get a lot of the national love. Drake May, starting to hear a lot about that. I know we've been hearing it from Ace for the past year and a half, 2 years now. But what do you think here? Is this a letdown spot for these Patriots to go down to NOLA and possibly let the Saints go on a little win streak?
I think they have everything to lose coming off a win against the Bills. I think everyone's talking about them. Everyone's talking about how good Drake May played, which, as they should, he played incredible.
Everyone's talking about how the Saints won last week because no one cares about the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Spencer Rattler's been playing good football, and he finally got a win under his belt. So I think a lot of confidence goes in there. You got to go on the road to NOLA, not really the easiest place to play. Buy low spot, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a weird buy low because they just got their first win of the season, but like
it's more of like a sell high on the Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots are that good. I think they played great last week. They played their best game. Bills obviously didn't, and they found a way to get a win in Highmark, which is pretty incredible. But different scenario.
It would be so like that would prove just the NFL as anyone can win any given Sunday. They go into Buffalo and win, and then the next week they go to the 1-4 Saints and lose outright.
Yeah,
as favorites. You know what I mean? Maine is 8.5 point favorites.
It's just one of those 1 o'clock games that could like get away from you. I think it's a high scoring game though. I think over 45.5. If the Saints have any chance, they got to keep up with that offense.
Yeah, and they had the deep ball to Shaheed was going last week.
Dude, Rattler looks good.
They have Olave, Kamara, Juwan Johnson, but they have like names, but I don't know. That team is bad. Their defense is bad, but I agree. I think if anything, it'll be a high scoring game, not necessarily too fun to watch, but a lot of points. But next one involving your Dallas Cowboys going to Carolina to take on the 2-3 Panthers. Your Cowboys 2-2-1 after their tie a few weeks ago against the Packers. Cowboys are -3 in this spot, over under 49.5. Cowboys money line -170, Panthers +140. How are we feeling about your boys coming off a big game?
Yeah, I mean, the offense is going to be there again. It matters that this defense can stop Bryce Young, who looked like old Bryce Young in that first half and ended up playing very, very well in that second half to get the win. But to keep up with this Dallas offense, Dak looks like an MVP candidate again. It could be
Yeah,
biased. I don't know, but him and George Pickens has
it's
figured it
it's
out.
all over ESPN and everywhere. You're not the only one saying that.
Obviously him and Ferg have a crazy connection. He's just airing that ball out. Javonte Williams in the backfield looks incredible too. Looks like a top 7 running back in the league. We weren't even sure if he's going to be a starter coming into the season. So, too much to say about this offense, but I mean, it matters if that defense can play any shutdown ball. Got to go on the road here, so could be a little tough.
Yeah. I'd lean on your Cowboys here. I think it's a similar spot to that Jets line last week, but Panthers coming off a win. I think obviously we saw what they did against the Patriots 2 weeks ago. I don't think this Panthers team is good. I'd lay the number with your Cowboys. I'd be pretty confident in that one too. But our next game, another 1 o'clock, 2 more 1 o'clock games here. The Seahawks heading to the 4-1 Jaguars. And the Jaguars are laying 1 point, basically a pick 'em here at home. Over under 47.5. Jaguars money line on MGM is -118. Seahawks -102. Do you stay with these Jacksonville Jaguars? I actually leaned on them plus that 3.5 in that game. I didn't think they'd win the game outright. The Chiefs just don't cover, and I don't think the Chiefs are that good this year. I think they'll be in the picture, but I love seeing them lose these games, and I thought that was a good spot for Jacksonville at home in the prime time. But do you lay the 1 point, take the Jags to win this game, or is this a Seahawks get right game after a shootout against Tampa?
I love the Seahawks team. I love Sam Darnold. I think it's really, I mean, losing that game last week was tough. It was classic Bucs fashion, getting that late game turnover, get that one thing that goes their way to win the game. Darnold played incredible. It was a tip ball, wasn't his fault. But this defense just has to step up a little. I mean, Trevor Lawrence can just air it out against this team like he kind of did against the Chiefs too. But he's gonna have a lot easier of a defense to go up against this week. I'm not gonna take it because I'm sick of the Seahawks team letting me down, but I do think they get the job done. I don't love this Jacksonville team. I don't think they should be 4-1. You
I
escaped one last week.
I agree with you in that I like the Seahawks in this game, but I think the Jaguars are pretty good. I think they're going to run them and the Colts. I think are going to run for the AFC South. I think the Texans kind of might be finding their groove, but I'm not worried about the Texans. I think it's Colts and Jags, but I think the Colts are way better of a roster than the Jaguars.
Yeah,
I think the Colts will win the division in the long run,
I
but
was
I
gonna say
also
who
like
you
the
got winning the
Seahawks in this
division.
spot. So there's a loss. Jaguars could be 4-2. They're also if Joe Burrow would have got hurt 1 week earlier, the Jaguars could be 5-0 if they would have gotten an invite to the Jake Browning party up there in Cincinnati. But
Yeah, but they did.
what
I think when Burrow came out, the Bengals were like losing. Jake Browning played incredible that game.
was that the game he played good? He came in and did good.
Yeah, came in and played well, and then he was the worst quarterback in the league for the next 3 weeks.
Next, yeah.
Let me get divisional odds on that division real quick.
I bet it's Colts minus like
Colts -115.
I was gonna say 120.
plus 155.
Who? Jags?
Yeah,
What are the Texans plus 3,
plus
400?
plus 550.
Okay. Yeah, I'd still lean on the Colts.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Seahawks in this spot. Yeah, to both of us on the road team here. I think the Seahawks team is better than people are giving them, credit for. I think that was a good Tampa team that just came in and got a win in an absolute shootout, a back and forth game. Like you said, the Bucs always seem to get those bounces that go their way. So, but we'll get into our last 1 o'clock game. The LA Rams heading to the 1-4. Let me repeat that: 1-4 Baltimore Ravens. Another team I love to see drop games. Ravens coming into this one is 7.5 point underdogs at home. Over under at 45. Ravens money line plus 325. Rams minus 425. I mean, the story for the Rams has been Puka Nacua is literally arguably the best receiver in the NFL right now. Like, I mean, the numbers he's putting up, what he's doing on a week-to-week basis, it's similar to that Cooper Kupp Triple Crown year. with all the receptions, all the yards, all the time. He just seems like he's finding the end zone every week. I mean, I don't see anyone on this Ravens defense that's going to be able to keep up with him this week, or Kyron. I'm on the Rams. I think 7 is a lot. I think this is a great teaser opportunity because if you lower this number, I don't see the Ravens competing this within 3 points. You get the Rams down to like whatever it would be, 2.5, 1.5. I love this spot for the Rams.
Yeah, I think they roll again. I mean, like you said, this Ravens defense is depleted. They're incredibly injured. No one's going to stop Puka. But look at Matt Stafford. I mean, talk about an MVP season, and then you look back at like the highest receiving yard seasons in a season, and it's Megatron, Cooper Kupp, and now Nakua is on track to beat both of them. And Matt Stafford is the quarterback to all three of those.
I would love if Puka beats both of those guys just because, like,
dude, he's on track.
I don't know.
He's on track for almost 2,000.
What's he on track for? Like 2,000 yards?
Like 1,900, dude. It's nuts.
He'll probably get like, what's Megatron's record?
And no, Kupp has it, I think.
Oh, Kupp broke it?
Yeah, because of the extra game.
Oh, yeah. Receiving.
It's like 1,750, I think.
Let's see. Receiving. What do I want to look at? What would be the way I look this up? NFL.
Highest receiving yards in a single season.
1964 by Calvin Johnson in 2012. The second highest is 1947 by Cooper Kupp in 2021.
Okay, so I was wrong.
He didn't get him with the extra game.
So what is it? 19.
Calvin Johnson beat him by 20 yards and a less game.
So 19 what?
1964 is the record. He would need 1965. Let's do the math and see what he needs to average.
Kupp's at 588. Kupp's at 588. So what does he have? 19 what?
1964 has for Megatron.
1964 minus 588. How many games are left?
The Rams have played 5 games. They're 3-2.
12
so
games
they have
left.
12 games left.
114 yards a game.
But like he's gonna have a game where he has close to like 170.
But I mean, let's look at what he's had so far. He's had
like 180.
He's had 170. He's had 130. He's had 112. He has a 91.85. So he's perfectly capable of getting 116 per game.
What's he averaging right now a game?
What's like 580? A little more. Probably like 5.
More than 100.
Probably like 112. 588 divided by 5. 117.6. So he's averaging more than what he needs. So
that'd be awesome.
117.6 times 17 games. He's on track for 1,999 yards.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Getting back to this Rams team, it's just what they're doing right now is pretty unbelievable. And then you have Devontae Adams over there just putting up slight numbers as well. So that offense should roll through Baltimore. It matters if Baltimore can stick around for that 7 points, but I doubt it.
Yeah, no. Next one, probably the worst game on the slate, 4:05. The Tennessee Titans are heading to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Over or under is 41.5. I don't know why I did that first. Titans are getting 4.5 points here. Like I said, over under 41.5. Titans money line plus 185. Raiders minus 225. What do you think here? I don't have much to say about this game. I won't be watching.
I didn't think the Raiders were that bad until last week, but
it's a little win streak for the Titans.
I'm still gonna take them over the Titans. I think the Titans are brutal.
Yeah, I think the Genti will run all over this Titans defense. That's the one thing that I think the Raiders will have going for them. Obviously, if Bowers plays, that's another one to keep an eye out for. I mean, look for Geno Smith possibly just throwing the ball to the other team. He's been doing that. 9 interceptions in 5 games. Love my boy Geno, but I mean, you're wearing the black and silver jersey. The other team is not. So
you gotta remember that.
Yeah, you got to remember that. They wrote you off, but you didn't write back. But, you're throwing 9 interceptions in 5 games. I can't defend my WVU Mountaineer when he's putting up numbers like that. But
yeah, not much you could do at that point.
Yeah, but 4.5, yeah, I'd lean on the Raiders. I can't lay 4.5, though, with a 1-4 team. I'm not going to be betting that game personally. I like Genti to score a touchdown. Probably kind of steep odds now that he's kind of started to take off a little bit. But our next one, some news in the NFL coming into this one. The Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Flacco, will be heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers are 14 point favorites. This is a college football spread. Over under at 44.5. Packers money line minus 1,100. Bengals plus 700. Obviously, the Bengals have been going with Browning the past few weeks. They give Cleveland, I believe, a 5th rounder for Flacco and a 6th rounder. What do you think here? Can Flacco beat the Packers twice in
For
3
the
weeks?
second time, no, he
Twice in 3
cannot.
weeks.
He cannot. But
Yeah, no, he's going to get smoked this time.
yeah, I could see this one getting out of hand. But I mean, it gives them a better chance to win this game. I'll take Flacco over Browning all day. Look for Jamar Chase to get a big game. The only thing that they're worried about is getting Jamar more involved. So he's
Do you
going
think he's going to have more tackles and receptions again?
I think he's going to have 18 targets is what I think he's going to have.
Yeah.
They'll get in the end zone. Packers defense is obviously good, but I'm not going to take a spread here. It's 14.5. I'm not even going to take a tease here. You can't even tease this game. But
yeah, you're teasing it to 8.5.
Yeah, get right game for the Packers. See what the Bengals can do.
Yeah. Good one here in the NFC in the 4 o'clock slate with the 49ers heading to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks. Both these teams 4-1. The Bucks are laying 3 points at home here. Over under 47.5. Bucks money line minus 165. Niners plus 140. I'm not super confident in this one, but I lean on the Bucks. I'm not a 49ers guy. I haven't been for the past few years. I'm not big in Mac Jones. I think that team is still very injured, and I'm not going to take them yet. The Bucks are just giving me every reason to keep taking them, but this is a scary line here. I feel like it should be a little more despite 4-1, 4-1. What do you think here? I lean on Tampa, but not super confident.
I think that they're just kind of overreacting. Mac Jones' game last week, I don't think he's going to be able to repeat it. I don't know. This Bucks team also they're 4 plays away from 0-5. That's the difference.
They play these close games just like
but they're clutch. I mean, they're winning these games. The 2.5 might come into play here. So I would think more about the money line here for the Bucks, but I don't think the 49ers get the job. I think that was a bit of a fluke game last week for Mac Jones. He's not that good, but we'll see this week. Good matchup.
Yeah. Sunday Night Football. This is probably the game of the day, in my opinion. Detroit going to Kansas City. Kansas City at 2-3 here, coming off a loss on Monday Night Football, is laying 2.5 at home. Over under 53. Chiefs money line minus 135. Lions plus 115. What is stopping me from taking the Lions right here?
The fact that 98% of America is going to be on the Lions.
I agree, but the Chiefs they've looked the same all season.
I mean, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead last week, and everyone was like, "Oh, this Chiefs team's back." They just needed that big win last week over the Ravens. Chiefs are back.
Can they score with the Lions?
I think
over-under's 53. So if this is 28-20, can the Chiefs keep up with 28, 30 points in this game?
If Mahomes is able to control the game, control his drives, 6-7 minute drives, getting 7 points off those drives, just keeping Jared Goff off the field, I think that they can do well. I also think the Chiefs have a pretty good defense. They didn't look good last week, don't get me wrong, but I think that they can contain them a little bit. We've seen the Lions in pretty bad spots. We saw how bad they looked in week 1. I know they don't have Ben Johnson. It was a little bit of an adjustment. I think that there's something going on here. There's no reason the Chiefs should be 2.5 point favorites. I'm gonna trust that line and take the Chiefs.
I'm not as confident as you are. I've obviously lean on Detroit. I just don't see a reason why you can't take them there, but I could see that line kind of go one way before Sunday night. So we have a lot of time to make our decisions on that.
Watch how much it moves before Sunday too.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much money on Detroit.
You'll see it go up and down.
And then obviously Monday night we get 2 games with the Bills and Falcons in Atlanta, 7:15 Monday Night Football. The Bills are 4.5 point favorites coming off a loss to the New England and Falcons, obviously at home. Like I said, over under is 50 and even 50. Bills money line minus 225. Falcons plus 185. Falcons coming off their bye week at home, get the extra day on the Monday night. Do you have any confidence in this Falcons team to send these Bills on a losing streak?
No, get right game.
Yeah.
I don't like the Falcons team. I don't think Michael Penix is very good. You took him 2 weeks ago, I think.
I took him against the Falcons, or I took
against the Commanders.
The Vikings and against the Commanders. I've taken them in their 2 wins.
Yeah, and I thought you were done for it, but obviously ended up winning. But no, not a good spot for them here.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't think it's a good spot for them at all, especially in the prime time. I think Josh Allen's gonna know that they need a win here. I think the Bills will roll. I'd look for James Cook to get back involved. He was terrible in that game against the Patriots. Couldn't get anything going. Um, but yeah, I like the Bills there -4.5 as well. And then Monday Night Football as well. Like I said, doubleheader, 8:15 p.m. We have the Chicago Bears going to DC to take on the Commanders. Commanders are -4.5, over under at 49.5. Commanders money line -225. Bears +185. What do you think here? Jaden Daniels another week back under center for the Commanders. Bears also coming off a bye here, getting the Monday night extra day. How are we feeling about this NFC matchup?
Yeah, I don't know. Bears coming off a pretty good win. I mean, they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this one. Ben Johnson's usually pretty good in these spots. I mean, Commanders looked great last week, so it's hard to go against them. Jaden Daniels looked back to normal, but I kind of like the Bears plus the 4.5 here. I think you tease this one up to 10.5, and you get that. I'd probably take the under 55.5. I'd tease it up. I don't
Take
know.
the under and tease it up.
I take so it would be under 55.5 and Bears plus 10.5.
I like that. You're the
I
same game teaser.
Yeah, I don't love anything here. I think if anything, I just do
I don't
that.
think it'll get out of hand either way.
Right, right. I don't know. Know what you said here.
This game, obviously, the Hail Mary game from last year for Jaden Daniels.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I didn't look at this game too much, but I do like that play. What would you get the under at? 55.5?
Yeah.
And Bears +9.
Wow, what do you have? I see
4.5.
4.5. You get
Yeah.
6 points, don't you?
I thought it was 5.5 for regardless, that'd be 10. You'd get
5.5
+10.
would be 10. Yeah.
I think 5.5 is -110. 6 sounds like a lot for 2 legs.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But that's probably my only look here. I don't really love this
I
play.
agree. That's a good play. I would lean on that. But yeah, obviously we'll get into our power rankings real quick in the NFL. Forgot to go through these before. The Indianapolis Colts at 5, the Tampa Bay Bucks at 4, the Buffalo Bills at 3, the Philadelphia Eagles at 2, and the Detroit Lions making their debut at 1 after the Eagles and Bills both lose. They're still in our top 3. They're still very good rosters up and down. Both probably going to pick up wins here this week. But obviously those Bucks and Colts still sitting right there. Colts, look for them to continue. They're going to get another win this week as 7-point favorites at home again. But obviously a solid top 5 there. In the NHL, we had our 2025 NHL season officially get underway last night. In night 1, we saw the defending Stanley Cup champions defeat Chicago. My Pittsburgh Penguins go into MSG and shut out the Rangers. And the Avalanche win convincingly in LA. Mackie, last week we gave our Cup predictions, Eastern Conference winners, Western Conference winners, and then obviously Stanley Cup champion. If you have a pick that you'd be willing to give out as far as who you want or who you think is our Stanley Cup Finals matchup this year, let the people know. I think I said Vegas, Tampa.
I mean, I'm just spitballing here because I didn't really look into it.
Toronto?
I'm gonna go.
You want to be our Toronto guy?
You know what? I was the Toronto guy last year. I'll fucking beat it again. Give me Toronto, Edmonton, and Edmonton to lose for the 3rd year straight.
I would love that.
That'd be something.
And then McDavid's first year,
McDavid
2-year deal's already in the garbage. Yeah.
Get him in red,
No
white,
request
and
to
blue.
trade if they lose in the cup again.
Get him in red, white, and blue.
Yeah. It's coming sooner than you think. I think they're Tampa. People also I've started to hear Detroit. That would be fucking awesome, but I don't see that one happening. I think he wants to go to like New York or Tampa, somewhere where either he's in a huge market or he's not paying state income tax.
Or he's not paying.
Yeah.
That's the main thing right there.
But obviously then in college football this weekend, we'll take a look at our top rankings for this week as we come into week 7. Let me get these pulled up. A lot happening in the world of college football. Mackie, do you know our official record on the card right now? I do not know it off the top of my head, but we are on fire in college football.
No, I can get it for you while you look for these rankings.
Word, I got the rankings here. I'll go through the top 10 here. Georgia at 10, Texas Tech representing from the Big 12 at 5-0 at number 9, Alabama 8, Indiana at 7, Oklahoma 6, Texas A&M at 5, Ole Miss at 4, Oregon 3, Miami 2, and still the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 1. We do have a couple good games this weekend. I'm not going to go through any of these picks officially. Just a couple games to keep your eyes on. We have Ohio State at Illinois. That's 1 versus 17 at Illinois, like I said, in the Big Ten there. Alabama versus Missouri. Indiana, or number 7 Indiana, going to number 3 Oregon. That's a good one. And then obviously we have the Red River rivalry with number 6 Oklahoma going up against Texas, who is not ranked, and the now fastest team to go from preseason number 1 to unranked in college football history. The previous record holder for that was, I believe, 2011 USC or 2012 USC, but took Texas just 6 weeks to be unranked, or 5 weeks, maybe it was, because they were last week. But Texas not ranked in that. But do you have our official record in the college football world?
Yeah, we're 21-10 plus 9.68 units.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I got so lucky on TCU last week. That was crazy. They had no business. They had no business throwing the ball in the end zone, dude.
That's college football. You gotta account for that shit.
I would say that's college football, though, because in the NFL they just kneel it out and they're like, "Oh, game's over." In college football, the coaches are like, "Fuck it, throw it in the end zone."
Yeah, definitely.
Like, they don't care. But then obviously, then the other big, obviously, sports world topic going on right now, the MLB playoffs. We have a game 3 coming in the ALDS between Detroit and Seattle. That is going to be on Friday night. We'll get into that one first because it's game 5 already set here. The pitching matchups are looking like they're going to be Skubal versus Kirby. And right now I'm seeing the Tigers as a slight favorite there at minus 135. They get their guy on the mound. I wanted to see the Mariners go to the ALCS or possibly the World Series, but seeing Skubal here makes me very scared if you're rooting for the Mariners. Do you agree?
Yeah, but I think they played him well last time too, if I'm not mistaken, because I got him in game 1. Hold on, I'm trying to look it up.
And while you look that up, I'll go through some of these other ones. Cubs forcing game 3 or game 4 against the Brewers today. They win 4-3. They play tomorrow. Today, when you're listening to this on Thursday, they play Thursday night at 9:00 again in Chicago. So Cubs up against elimination. And then tonight, while we're recording this right now live, we have the Blue Jays leading the Yankees 2-1 in game 4. Yankees up against elimination. Judge with a huge home run to get the Yankees back in that game and win their first game of the series up against elimination. And then the Phillies and Dodgers up 2-0. I think Dodgers close out tonight. I don't know about you. I hope not, but I think they do. What do you think happens in that Blue Jays-Yankee series? Top of the 7th, 2-1. The Yankees have any fight left?
I thought that it would have been done by now. I thought, I liked the Yankees coming into the night. I thought there was going to be a 6-run inning somewhere. Obviously, there's still 3 innings left, but not looking good. Not the game that they wanted to play.
I think the Blue Jays are like kind of team of destiny. Like, they just seem like they keep winning all the bounces. They're good.
They're going to come out of the AL. They are.
Yeah, I think so too. And that'll be cool. But those are the series in the MLB. We haven't played many plays in the MLB playoffs. I personally don't like betting on the MLB playoffs because it's always so tight, so back and forth. There's always some huge inning in the 8th inning that fucks my bet every time. So I usually stay away from playoff baseball. I like a lot of nerfies, but if we get any plays, stay tuned to our social media. HitTheBooks.pod, HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. Obviously, like we said, 21-9 in college football. That's disgusting. So stay tuned. Or 21-10, maybe it was. I don't even remember. But up around 9 units. So stay tuned to that. We're getting out there in our world of college football, NFL picks every Sunday. But that's our going to do it for this week. We had some MLB recap, college football, NFL Week 6 slate. And then obviously we discussed some of how the NHL is starting up. Stay tuned for our NHL card as well. That's one that we've had consistent success on over the years. So stay tuned for that on our social media. All of our plays are free. Turn those post notifications on so you don't miss anything. But other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys this weekend for NFL Week 6 Sunday for our live stream.